there's two videos really, two main videos. One is the post-match from when we look at our performance from the last game. And as I say, that's important because we don't have them on the Monday that you would have at club level where we can sit them down and explain. So we get it all down on video so that next time we see them, we can sit them down in front of the video, say, this is what we liked, this is what we didn't like. So that's one vital thing. And obviously, yes, Andy's got a big collection of games. We have a look at the opposition, strengths and weakness, and again, that's delivered in a meeting just prior to the game.
We send them files to their iPads so they can watch them when they're in or out of the office or they're at games.
Well, Andy's based at Wembley, and what we find, because Andy's worked with Roy and myself before, Andy more or less knows what we're looking for.
How they play, how they build up through the thirds, what they do in and out of possession, transitions. We look at and we try and break down and we try and make it as easy to take that 6 games and provide a little snapshot, a detailed snapshot for the players.
He's on the phone to Gary and Gary puts his input in. So between the three of us, we let Andy know what we're looking for from the game.
Yeah, it's very important because obviously there's a restricted amount of training sessions for the manager to be able to put his points across to the players. So this is another form that is non-physical of being able to give the players information and allow them to know about the opposition, things that obviously the player are expected of the players themselves. And like I say, it's important that like this time of the season in particular, that it's as important really as training sessions. We treat it as a training session.
So when we meet up, they'll be given the iPads. They've all got their own iPad and everything will be on there, ready for them as soon as we get together.
I think that the primary thing is always concentrating on our own strengths and weaknesses, but you have to deal and pay attention to the opposition. It's an obvious part of international football and football generally now, and I think that the amount of data that we get given, the amount of analysis that goes on behind the scenes is incredible now in football, and obviously it's the same here with England.
Everything is on for everyone because the units interact with each other. What I put on for the right back, he's going to need to see what their opposition left midfielder's doing, what their opposition central midfielder's doing. So they need to see everything. A centre forward will make runs into areas where they will be, so they get everything the same as everyone else.
You've got to try and obviously get it into a sort of compact as you can, because you don't want to fill them with too much, but certainly importance of the players that are playing against, the shape of the opposition, the strengths. If there's individual players that our defenders are playing against, or midfield players that have got obvious strengths or weaknesses, we make them aware of them and try and, like I say, not confuse them too much, but give them good information that will enhance their performance and help them win the game. It's
a vital tool for us, and I mean, compared to before, a lot of it you did on sort of trust that you said, well, this happened during the game, but because there was no film of it, now we've got the evidence to say, well, this is why this happened. Sometimes it can be for the benefit of the players, in as much that we were wrong, but most of the time we're right when we think the players are out of position, and we can bring them in and just say, listen, you need to be around a little bit, 4 or 5 yards around than you were, or you need to be pushed forward a little bit more, and there's the video evidence to help us to explain it to them.
I think simple instructions stick. I think definitely. I think particularly around the opposition, if you're showing an opponent that's going to do something time and time again, you really will. Particularly the intelligence of the players at this level that you're dealing with. They do take the information in. They want the information. They want to be prepared when they go out onto the pitch. And I think that's always, as a player, it doesn't change now. And hear what we're doing, that you want to try and make sure that the players have got a picture of what's going to happen in the game in every instance, really, and prepare them as much as possible.
Just talk us through your role on match day with the England team.
I think it's something that we started probably 6 months ago. In the first half, I mean, everybody will know, coaches and managers, that it can get difficult at times to see the sort of bigger picture from the touchline. It's just another pair of eyes. Obviously, Roy and Ray are on the bench, so the idea that one of us is just sat up there in the sort of higher position, maybe see different things and a different sort of perspective, is just something that when we come in at half time, we can sort of chat between each other about what we've seen from our different areas and different viewpoints, if you like. And obviously in the second half, I do go down onto the bench, but the first half I do spend up there. And I think in some ways it sort of helps you see the game better, obviously.
By the time that we kick off into the World Cup, we'll know everything we need to know about the opposition, all three teams that will be playing at group level. And also we'll be looking at possible future opponents. That will all be covered.
It's critical that obviously building, particularly when you're going into a World Cup, you're talking about sort of 4 or 5 matches that we'll watch intensely, and you see patterns develop of the opposition, strengths and weaknesses. That's the main thing. And then what is it that's going to basically provide the content to the players? What's going to be shown to the players in the 2-3 weeks before the tournament? And they're things that we're discussing already and have been for months, in terms of sort of looking at the opposition and how we present to the players as a sort of managerial and coaching staff.